Well, if you find yourself driving on Highway 78 in the desert outside of San Diego, well, it's just beautiful, but you might see a sign that says Republic of Slow-jamistan, and that means you've officially crossed into a new micronation. An area DJ, a radio DJ, bought the 11-acre piece of land, declared it a sovereign nation, calling it Slowjamastan, and dubbed himself the Sultan of the desolate area.
For more, we're joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by James Cutchin, business reporter for the Palm Springs Desert Sun. And he has a story about this. James, we appreciate your time. And I want to go to one line in your story that I think perhaps you can offer a bit of a glimpse into Randy Williams, the man that's done this. You say the ruler has big, vague plans for the new micronation. I love that description. What does that mean?
Well, when he describes what he's looking to do with it, it just kind of bounces all over the place, right? When you try to pin him down a little bit more, the ideas ramble from a bowling alley, a hot dog emporium, a water park, which kind of backtracks to maybe a lazy river, if they could figure out the water situation there. So it's all over the place. A little extra tidbit that wasn't necessarily in the story. He won't say whether he's going to live there or not, which seems a little weird as the ruler. But yeah, it's unusual for sure.
All right, so I want to get to the part about whether this will fly with the U.S. government, but first we do need to cover the shoe wear thing. Can't wear Crocs in his nation, you'll be severely punished. Okay, maybe that's just also a little out there, but will this fly with the U.S. government? Can someone just set up shop and say, I'm a micronation?
Well, it doesn't have any legal recognition by the U.S. government, right? Micronations don't. And so if he, as the Sultan, just tells everyone he's the Sultan and abides by all U.S. laws, it doesn't really matter. If he tries to make some new laws, for instance, he's going to have people flogged for wearing the Crocs, then the sheriff will still come there and arrest him.
You know, it occurs to me that California is rife with stories like this, and whether you're in Northern California with the state of Jefferson, outlandish characters like Emperor Norton here in San Francisco. When you get around the Salton Sea, though, I feel like it's especially acute. You've got Salvation Mountain and all of these other communities that are kind of off the grid. It seems like that part of the state really pulls these characters in. What is it about the Salton Sea in that part of California?
I think it's just something about the desert that you get out there and you feel like you're on a different planet and you can kind of just do whatever you want. Like the rules of society and the world don't really matter anymore.
You know, I was going to say, I'm not sure, but we may be rivaling the extremism that we see and hear about in Florida. I think we're catching up a bit. So this character is there. He's doing this thing. I mean, what can the local jurisdictions do, if anything? I mean, can he just set up and do whatever he wants there?
Well, if he isn't breaking any laws, then they can't really do anything, and they probably don't really care. I mean, if he's bringing in tourists, right, that are going to come through that area and support the very small number of businesses that there are in that greater area, then they're probably fine with him. If he breaks the law, then they can absolutely arrest him. I mean, if he violates zoning restrictions for that area or something like that, he is just as subject to all laws and regulations as anyone in the country is.
He's already managed to get road signs up. What are the expectations for any of this becoming any sort of reality?
You know, it's still really up in the air. He's actually, today, he's having an event that he told me the attendance could be from anywhere between 7,000 and 10,000 people. That is declaring, he already declared the independence of his new nation. He's making a speech, and the citizens are voting on the mascot, the raccoon mascot that they've chosen's names. It's really, I would be surprised if it ended up being anything, more than a sort of roadside oddity, another desert roadside oddity. But Who knows? I mean, maybe I'll be proven wrong in a few years when we've got, a whole desert empire out there.
Yeah, and representation at the next Olympics. Who knows? James Cutchin, thanks so much. Business reporter for the Palm Springs Desert Sun, covering this new micronation called Slow-jamistan.